Howdy, back again. I have the official unboxing here for our Will It Works budget rifle. Buy it same day, take it out and hunt. Right here, we got a Savage Axis XP2. It is chambered in 243. Perfectly capable cartridge, very good, kind of in that middle of the road area. She might be a little bit big for some of the smallest varmints that you have, maybe not quite big enough for somebody who wants to go after the largest game, but we are out here in the Northwoods of Wisconsin and we are going after whitetails, so it is perfectly adequate for that. Comes with this Weaver 3-9. Nothing really fancy. We will probably swap it out after we do our initial testing tomorrow, but we, like I say, just wanted to kind of jump out there, grab this left-handed model, take a run and see what could happen. So tomorrow morning, gonna run to Sighted In. I picked up Federal soft points, Winchester Copper Impact. We'll test a couple different ammos so that we can go ahead and see what's gonna work best. Make sure that we have a nice solid platform to go off of before we attempt to go and say, oh, hey, there's a deer within range, let's take a crack at it. Just want to make sure that we've touched all the bases and that beforehand, as opposed to taking a really bad shot, wounding a deer as a worst case scenario there when we go about doing that. And then afterward, we can take a look at how good this system runs as something that, like I say, is a very cheap option for somebody who maybe is like, I don't know what I've got going this year, if I'm going to be able to get out. And then you end up with a few $100 and can get yourself a rifle and a license, and you want to just go out there and try and fill the freezer. And ultimately, yeah, it's a little bit of cost up front, of course, sure. But at the end of the day, with at least the area of the state of Wisconsin that I fall into, I got my license, and then that came with, I believe, 8 additional doe tags for free at no charge. So going $471 into rifle and ammo, a sling I already had at home just to make sure I've got a little bit of retention for that. And if a guy wanted to, and got lucky enough, you could go out there and for a relatively low investment, you get 9 deer down. And even if we shoot a, smaller end of that and go 60, 70 pounds of meat at 9 times, that is still 600 pounds of meat, and you're less than $500 in. Now, sure, you might have to pay a processor if you don't do that yourself, but you are likely going to be sitting in a spot where, you can help yourself there, help set up for the winter. But this is just kind of the intro here. Tomorrow I'll shoot it, sight it in, make sure that we are on par and good to go. I may do a short of that. It may be long, depending on how it goes. I don't want to necessarily get anybody too bored about it, because sight in process, if things get a little finicky and we try shooting groups to make sure they look pretty, it might require some cleanings, and so we get whatever. But we'll take a little quick after, discuss it, and then we'll take it out hunting. Hopefully can get something tomorrow with it. If not, we will just switch right back to the 300 Win Mag, and we'll discuss after that. Otherwise, if we get nothing either side of it and this is good to go, I may just run this through the entire remaining 8 days, and then we can talk about what everything looks like after season and where to go from there. We're still going to have bow season running into January, and there will be from December 24th until January 1st a antlerless only added season, which we can pull the rifles back out just for does if you still have tags left on them. We're still running geese for another few weeks. We got a little bit of time left on turkey. We got a pretty nice setup of the way the season's run around here. Got a little bit of time on pheasants. And this is also a good time to be prepared for the holidays. We love getting together with family at this time of year, and what better chance than to go out, maybe take somebody, just get them a cheap rifle for your kids and get their first year out there, and an amazing story to tell come Thanksgiving, come Christmas, about your 12-year-old shooting their first deer. Now, there's going to be some stipulations as long as, we either have mentored hunts, or if they've got their hunter safety covered and they're popped and ready to go for their first year, so that you can both be out there, be ready for whatever might come your way. This, I would say, with the amount of tags that they're offering, we do have a decent population around here. My sit earlier today was actually a pretty loud one. We can make jokes about whatever war zone we want to involve in that, just with the way that, I'd say there was probably a 45-minute sit. Like I say, I wanted to just kind of hit those peak hours of what normally kind of happens out here where I'm at today, just with work and all that involved. I'm like, if I don't have the ability to do an all-day sit, I'll do the just before dark, kind of get them in. And just in that 45 minutes, I would say that there was anywhere from 50 to 100 shots. Now, that could be a lot of different things. People shooting at nothing, people taking multiple shots at one deer, guys starting the drives a little bit early. But I would argue that that means that there's a lot of stuff out there. They're moving good. And the way that things shape up, it's dropping down to 27 degrees tonight, getting a little cool. Might get them all kind of sheltered down. Some of them woods hunters like it. Tomorrow, if it starts to warm up a little bit, they might, kind of shake off that rust a little bit, get moving out into some fields, looking for some food. I think we are supposed to be low to mid 40s tomorrow, so that will be good hunting conditions. Nothing too major to deal with rain, snow-wise. Wouldn't mind a little bit of frost on the ground in the morning, help a little bit with blood trails. That will dissipate in the afternoon, sure, but if you can hit them early and go, that is always a good start. If you're out here hunting, or if your seasons are running in other states, good luck. Be safe, everybody.